Thank you for joining us. I'm Mary Yanez, Director of the Senior Adult Program, and this is Mature Living. We have an interesting interview to share with you today about a durable medical equipment company that is based at Fort Bliss. And of course, home health care products are designed to improve your quality of life, and so they want to improve the quality of life of soldiers. And the store is called the BARBER DME Supply Group, and we have with us Martha Hernandez, who is the regional manager. And you know, they have these stores based in all the military bases, which is an interesting concept that I learned about today. Thank you for being with us, Martha.
Thank you for inviting us.
You know, I had not even thought about durable equipment in the shopping malls of the military bases. But Tim Barber, who is the owner of your company, tell me about how he thought about serving the soldiers.
Well, he thought about serving the soldiers because he was a soldier too. So he saw the need of having those stores inside of the bases so it can help the people, because by moving around, a lot of people, when they get to the city, they're new in the city and they don't know where to go. So it's a good thing to have something on base where they don't have to like drive around and look for something that, you know, sometimes they're afraid to drive around because they don't know how dangerous the city is, or if they don't know if it's, you know, do they have this close by. There's a lot of people don't want to be driving around, and that's why they try to have things inside a base.
One of the interesting things that I learned from you today also is that you have staff there in the Barber store for medical equipment that counsels them about how to get these medical equipment, prescriptions, how TRICARE, what insurance pays. Tell me about that.
Yes, we do. Our staff is very well trained, and they're trained not just to check and do the paperwork, but also to walk people through and how the system works and what their benefits are and what they're going to be end up paying in case they have a retiree TRICARE. Also, for the people that that they have Medicare, when we have an open window for Medicare, you're able to go in there and to be able to to get your medications, even nebulizers, the walkers, rollators, whatever is covered to TRICARE. But we always try to run everything through the system before the person can even get anything with them.
And sometimes the stores will sell things without waiting for approval, and so they end up, maybe if it's not approved, they end up paying the full amount. So that's
it's something really sad that people go through sometimes, that they sign a paper, they take the item, but that's not our goal. Our goal is to educate people, to teach them how their plan works before giving anything out, and for them to end up with a bill that they will not want.
Yes. One of the things that kind of caught my eye is that your store is located right next to the pharmacy in the Freedom Crossing Mall, and we'll give the address and the phone number in a minute.
Yes.
But that's an interesting concept. Why was that a thought?
It was coincidence, and when we got the store, the pharmacy was already there. And that helps people just to walk in and ask questions, and they're always welcome to do that.
While they're waiting for their prescriptions.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. And so can anybody buy from your store as long as they're on base, or they have the privilege of coming on base?
Yeah, they don't need a military ID. They can just get, their permit at the entrance.
Yes.
And then just go in there and buy things. And also the good thing about it is that they save the taxes, so they'll save some money.
Great. And what kinds of stuff? Because I love shopping.
Well, we have CPAP machines that requires a prescription. We have a CPAP mask, tubing, filters, breast pumps for the military moms or for anybody that wants to go buy them. We also have compression socks. A lot of people are requiring to have them because of the circulation problems.
Yes.
And then we also have a lot of orthopedic, which is, could be braces for the hand, for the leg, binders, for the abdomen if they just had a surgery. So we have different things that we can offer. And then we have the rollators, and for people that, that sometimes they just need to rest, but it's a good thing to have because they can keep walking and they can keep moving.
It's important.
Very important.
Very important. Mobility.
Yes, mobility is very important.
So we've talked about where you're located. Now I guess we can maybe even mention how to get a hold of you. You're the regional manager for this region.
Yes.
And how many stores do you have and where?
I think it's about 9 stores. Right now, it's about 10 stores, 9 to 10 stores. And we have Washington, we have Virginia, we also have Fort Hood, we have Nevada, we have Fort Bliss, we have Carson in Colorado, and
All the bases?
and all the bases. They're trying to put one in each space, but it will take some time, but we're working on it.
Doing well.
Yes.
Well, actually, because some of our viewers might have family members that are based in other bases, in the military
Yes.
bases, and so they can say, hey, go check this out.
Yes.
The BARBER, DME, they call it Durable Medical Equipment Supply store. I think we've just about covered, I think the really important thing is that you do help the customer with their insurance.
Yes, we
and
do.
counseling them what would be the best, as far as their TRICARE and maybe some other things that we haven't mentioned.
Well, the best thing is to always bring a prescription that is complete and that the doctor has a signature on it. If it comes without a signature, unfortunately, we have to send them back for them to have it complete. And it's good always to review with the doctor, like, oh, hey, doctor, maybe, there's something missing here at the end. And then I think it's a good thing so they don't go back and forth. And we can give information on what they need if they come and ask us, this is what the doctor needs to put in your prescription. Let him know the diagnosis is very important, plus the signature and the MPI of the doctor.
Medical equipment, especially, because of mature living and because our viewers are many times elders, it's so important for them to have these assistive devices.
Yes.
To help them to be mobile.
Yes.
And that's how we want to keep everybody moving and
Yes, always.
and shopping.
Yes.
And
Mobility
enjoying.
is the best thing, and so that way that, if they stop and they start using a wheelchair, it will just stop them from moving.
Yes.
So.
Well, thank you for your work and your dedication to our community, especially our military families. And Marta, it was good to meet you. Thank you for
I
coming
thank
to
you so
Mature
much
Living.
for letting us come in and talk to the
Great.
audience.
Yes, Marta Hernandez, and she's a regional director for the BARBER DME store, the Durable Medical Equipment store at Fort Bliss. And we'll be back with more Mature Living. Well, thank you for staying with us. We're going to introduce you and reintroduce you many times over to Leon Blevins, who is our Uncle Sam at the El Paso Community College and for this community. But we're celebrating 243 years. It's the anniversary of our independence, our USA that we love so much. And so Leon is here to share with us his idea of true patriotism. But before that, he's going to tell us who he is. Thank you. Thank you, Leon,
I
for
need to
being
remind our audience, I've been on your show before dressed as Uncle Sam back in the 1990s, and my daughter, Shalia, and her granddaughter, Daisha, had them on as when I was Uncle Sam.
Yes, and we have pictures, 1993. We have a picture of you and I on set. We also have another one that we're going to share, 1996 with your granddaughter.
Right.
And you were on the set here at Community College. And then we have another one to show in 2014.
Right.
And I'm wearing this exact scarf. So this scarf has lasted a long,
It gets a lot of
long
use,
time.
patriotic use, right.
So tell me about Uncle Sam briefly, and then we'll get into true patriots.
Okay, Uncle Sam originated in the War of 1812. A man named Sam Wilson in New York, upstate New York, Troy, New York. And vaudevillian acts down in New York City began to do dancing performances in patriotic clothes. And so that's when Uncle Sam began, as a living symbol of the United States of America.
And are there two symbols that are really important?
Yes, Uncle Sam and the Statue of Liberty, humanized kinds of symbols. But the Statue of Liberty doesn't dance. I became a dancing Uncle Sam and had a great time doing it.
So what is it about that poster?
Oh, the famous poster. James Montgomery Flagg, during World War I, designed a recruitment poster for the Army. I want you. And that became the iconic image of Uncle Sam.
Wonderful. Now tell me about your experience as an instructor here at the college. I know you're retired now, but there was a question proposed by a student in one of your classes.
Yes, I went to class one day and a student said, "Mr. Blevins, what do you think makes a good American?" And I said, "Well, I can tell you exactly. I've been making speeches on that since the 1970s when I was doing VFW programs down in the Esaleta area, and came up with a list. I finally typed it up about 1986. Because a colonel told me that I was not saluting properly. He said it was too flat. It should be like this. And I got to thinking, and here's the list I came up with. Saluting properly, singing the Star-Spangled Banner on key, saying the pledge with every word correct. That's not what makes a good American. That is not true patriotism. So here's my list. I'll go through it pretty fast. 1, acts in positive and constructive ways, not negative and destructive ways. 2, uses language to uplift others, not to demean and humiliate others, especially with vulgar and threatening words. 3, seeks to alleviate the pain of others rather than inflict pain upon them. 4, is honest and trustworthy, not dishonest and untrustworthy. Such an individual does not lie consistently to enhance his or her own benefits and does not cheat and steal to the detriment of others. Does not use mood-altering drugs such as alcohol in irresponsible ways that can lead to death or physical or emotional damage. And finally, can be trusted to be someone who can be counted upon in times of need. A truly great American is someone who will risk his or her own life in order to save someone else. The U.S. Congressional Medal of Honor is reserved for those in military combat who exercise great character in acting bravely for others at the expense of their own safety. I made up that list in the 1970s.
It is so important in this day and age. Honesty, to be a true American, being considerate of others, being respectful. Let's delve into this.
Okay.
In your thoughts, back then, would you believe how important it is today and what we're experiencing?
Well, my father fought in World War II in the Pacific on the battleship Alabama. He came back, in essence, a broken man. He was an alcoholic and so on, broke up our family eventually. But we were always a patriotic family. We always believed in standing and saluting the flag, although the Supreme Court said in World War II, you cannot be forced to stand in a public school setting and salute the flag if you don't want to. In the 1980s, they even said you can burn the flag in protest as symbolic of being angry at the nation or something. Now there's debate about kneeling and not standing and saluting the flag. So that's been a big debate all the time. But to me, those are not the most important things. It's these things, a matter of character. What is your character? That's what is important to me.
And you're representing the American way, the true American, being a good patriot. And that is always telling truth,
Right.
being truthful, being honest, have integrity as you represent this wonderful country that we're so proud of. And so in the last 3 minutes that we have of our conversation, some things that you want to delve into as far as describing who is a true American, a great American.
Well, I don't want to get in debates about specific politicians or office holders or anything like that. But I remember several years ago, the El Paso Times had a page that showed that people had been caught up in public corruption in El Paso. Veronica Escobar, who ran for county judge on reform, was saying, I want to clean up county government. And so that's, to me, what is important, is having a good, honest government working for us. I was called by a woman with the El Paso Times and asked a question about some of that public corruption. And I said something like this, it's now on the internet somewhere, I've seen it, is that people that are elected are supposed to be public servants, not supposed to be private criminals doing things for their own good. They're supposed to be working for us. We, the people of the United States of America, that's who our politicians and our office holders are supposed to be working for our good, our benefit.
Yes, it's so important. And it's so great to have you come in and remind us of what a true American is and how positive we need to be and how respectful we need to be. and that we celebrate this 4th of July 2019 with integrity and dedication to this country who has served us all.
I've been doing this 4th of July parade on the east side for 36 years, I think it is. And we start at Hanks High School on Montwood Drive. We go west on Montwood to Yarborough. Then we turn north on Yarborough Drive. We go to Album. Then we turn on Album and end up at Album Park. So we start at 9 o'clock. And so people can show up. It's a free parade. Come and lots of people enter it. We don't have a fee, entry fee, but you need to check with our leadership. The Del Norte Lions Club for years has sponsored this parade, and we hope that people will show up.
And how many years have you been Uncle Sam in this community, Leon?
Well, I started doing Uncle Sam in 1970 at Texas Tech, and then when I came here in 1972, it became more elaborate. In 1986, a woman named Bonnie Storts made my outfit, because I was wearing just simple patriotic shirts and cardboard hats and things like that. And eventually I went this. It transformed over the years, and I've had a great time doing it.
And you will never give up this uniform.
No, I did over 100 different characters in my teaching career here in El Paso. I retired in 2016, but this is one that I have not retired.
Very good. And thank you for bringing my reminder scarf.
Yes.
I appreciate it. Thank you for coming, Uncle Sam.
Thank you for
and
being my very good friend.
We'll see you next year again. Yes. We'll be back with more great interviews like this. Thank you for staying with us. Of course, this is Mature Living. We have a new friend that we just met, by the way, Devon Wall. She is a lead teacher of a new program here in El Paso, and I understand it's all over the country. But this is a dance for Parkinson's. And I want to learn all about it because I want our seniors to participate in this program, which helps with research. And, well, she's going to tell us all about it. But meet Devon Wall. Thank you, Devon, for being with us.
Good morning.
Today.
Good afternoon.
Yeah.
Thank you for inviting us to be on this program. We're really honored and very grateful to be here. Yeah.
I know you're an El Pasoan for a long time, El Pasoan, graduated from Irvine, so you're part of the family here.
Yes, I did. I was raised here, and I am an Irvine graduate, correct. Yes.
So tell me a little bit about this program that you've brought to El Paso.
Okay, so this is called, it's called Dance for PD. And it originated in Brooklyn, New York, and it was really interesting the inception of it, because you had the Brooklyn Parkinson support group down the street, and then their neighbors were the Mark Morris Dance Company. Okay, so the Brooklyn Parkinson support group went down to the Mark Morris Dance Company, and they said, you know, you all are trained dancers, and we have these Parkinson's patients, and maybe you know a lot about movement, kinesiology, right? Just that's a natural for a dancer. Do you think there's any way that we could, you know, develop some kind of local class, you know, for this demographic and population? So that was 2001, and it, you know, all these years later, it is now like it's in over 100 communities in the U.S. and it's global as well. So it really was really burgeoned and was so successful that it's all over the world now.
And so these lead instructors or teachers have to be certified.
Yes, that's correct.
Because Parkinson's is an underserved population sometimes, and we forget about them.
Yes,
and we mustn't.
These classes are they're designed. They're dance classes that are adapted for people with Parkinson's or a movement disorder, or maybe even MS, something like that.
Yes.
And it is a dance class primarily, but it's modified and adapted for people with the diagnosis, so that they too can have the creative expression, the artistry. But there are also a lot of we address the physical as well.
It's therapeutic.
The balance, the gait, the coordination, all of those things are addressed as well.
What are some of the symptoms of Parkinson's?
The symptoms that come to mind initially are tremor, rigidity. There is oftentimes too, it's called ataxia, where their gait is affected. Those are the three that usually. Oh, slowness of movement called bradykinesia. That's another benchmark syndrome.
That's where your training comes in.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
and how to coordinate. Where is the program happening, and how much can we pay, or do we donate to participate in the program?
We're very grateful to the Episcopalians in El Paso.
Yes.
They have been very, very welcoming and kind to us because they believe in our work. And the church mission is to serve the community. So we are lucky, fortunate to have classes at St. Albans Episcopal. And it is central El Paso. It's like Piedras and Wheeling, you know. So we are very pleased because that's a very central location, because we want to try to program to the entire city if we can.
So it's like 1810 Elm Street.
1810 Elm Street.
A very well-known area.
Yes, it's a lovely area.
And when do the classes, when are you going to offer these classes?
We dance on Friday mornings. We're dancing a year and a half now.
Okay.
We were in Northeast for a while, but then we knew that we needed to come central because we want to try to expand our numbers. So the classes are Friday mornings, and they start at 10:30, and they go from 10:30 to 11:45.
Okay.
So,
and anybody can participate, or is it specific for persons with limitation movement?
The program was the inception, and it was originally designed for people with Parkinson's, but we always stress that it is inclusive. If you have a movement disorder, or if you had MS, or if you just want to come and dance, but you want to have something seated and modified, but you're still working. I mean, we work hard. Yeah,
very good.
It's also very musical too, very musical, and it's just
healing.
You know, it's wonderful. We do a little bit of chair ballet. We do folk dancing. We do some dance games as well, like mirroring or shadowing, or call and response. So it's also very creative. It can be very creative. Yeah.
And this has been endorsed by the Foster.
It has. I did go to Texas Tech Medical School to the neurology department, and that was like 2 years ago, and they were extremely welcoming. They wanted to hear about it. They sat down with me, and it's all the information is in their offices, and so. That was, we were also encouraged by that endorsement. Yeah, they like us.
Very good.
And they believe in what we're doing.
So how long does the class go, and what is the contribution? Is it $5?
It's $5, and the class usually it goes for 75 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's continuous every Friday.
Every Friday.
They pay their $5 every Friday.
It's very simple. And that's another thing. It's very easy. It's very accessible. I want to launch it so that it can get a foothold, and I don't want it to be, to be no discouragement. It's like we're very welcoming. We have a nice group of people. We're up to 8 or 10 right now. So, we'd like to see it grow in the next year or so, and would encourage
And I'd like to
people
see
to
that
come.
brochure that you have there.
I have.
So
This is the national brochure.
The national brochure.
And this is our
Dance
lovely
for PD.
Yes, and this is our lovely card that we had designed. We had a wonderful angel, Lorraine Cunell. She designed that for us. I'm so grateful for her design.
And you see the
for us.
movements in this brochure. Special movements so that it will keep people healthy and moving.
It keeps people moving, and it keeps them engaged socially, because
music.
What happens is Parkinson's patients, they become it's very easy for them to become discouraged and depressed, and so a lot of dance is very social. So it's wonderful for them to come, to leave their home, come to an environment where there's and very safe, very safe. Everyone looks out for everyone in a Dance for Parkinson's class. Yeah, we do encourage if they can. Some people can come alone, but some people require a caregiver, and the caregivers are free because we know they're golden. But
awesome.
it's just, and it's new to El Paso. I wanted to do something for the city
that's new.
That was new, and that's an affiliate in the state of Texas.
Okay.
We're now with our sister cities in Texas. We can be proud. We're on the national website now. So,
oh my gosh! So where do they call you, Miss Wall? Where do they call you?
They call me at 915-345-1438. And I also have an email where they can reach me as well. And there is a machine on that number. They can leave a message, and I also have an email.
Very good. Yeah. Can you give your email?
Yes, it's D. Callen, Callen, Wall, @aol.com.
Awesome. We wish you
Okay.
great success.
Thank you very
we
much,
definitely
Ms.
must go
Mary.
and see what you're doing after you get this class going
I appreciate it.
and increase those numbers in participation.
Community dance education for El Paso.
You got it.
Yeah.
Okay. So thank you for being with us. We appreciate y'all, and we'll see y'all next week.